Joining us now is Captain Gordon Bloom of the Magic Boat Tours at the historic Spanish Point in Osprey. Welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very
Captain.
much.
Yes. Okay. Before we get to the boats, tell us a little bit about Spanish Point, historic Spanish Point.
Historic Spanish Point. Well, it's located on Tamiami Trail in Osprey, just south of the Oaks. And the property is about 30 acres along the east shore of Little Sarasota Bay. One of the really interesting things about this property is that it's been inhabited for about 5,000 years by humans. And we have 3 walking tours that focus in on a whole range of things, and we call them our 3 Ps, for prehistoric, for pioneers, which cover the period of the 1800s, and particularly with the Wells family, and then the Webb family, and then the Bertha Palmer period, which would be the early 1900s.
Okay, and these are docent-led tours,
These
correct?
are all docent-led tours, yes.
Okay.
And then we have the Magic Tour, which is on the water, and it gives an entirely different perspective of the property.
Okay, and that's where you come in, the Magic Boat Tours.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, we'll tell you a little bit about the Magic.
Okay.
She's a motor launch, 22 feet long. We carry 6 passengers, and we have 2 crew. And the Magic is a replica of the original Magic that the Webb family used on the property. Back in the late 1800s, when they were well established there, they actually started a Webb winter resort, and they needed a boat to move their guests around, because in those days, transportation was pretty limited. So they had a local boat builder, Frank Guptill, build the boat and operated the boat for their guests. In the early part of the 2000s, the staff at Spanish Point decided to resurrect the Magic because the original boat was destroyed in a hurricane in 1921. So they found some plans, made some plans from original photographs, and had the yard. We have a boat yard on the property that was skilled boat builders that built the Magic, and we launched her in 2006, and she's been running tours ever since then.
Okay, so how does somebody book one of the tours?
Well, we encourage people to call our visitor center because our tours are limited by weather sometimes and by tidal conditions. We normally like to run our tours Tuesday through Saturdays. Starting at 10 in the morning. Our last tour leaves at 3 in the afternoon.
And how long are the tours?
The tours are about 50 minutes. And if you call in, you can find out what the availability is for your schedule and that type of thing. And we really encourage people to make a reservation.
Now, who are the crew of the Magic? Yourself, I'm sure, Captain?
Yes. We have, actually, we're going to have 5 captains this year. All our captains are U.S. Coast Guard licensed. And then our first mates are all very familiar with handling boats themselves. And they're also the ones that are responsible for the narration on the trip.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, and tell us again where you're located and where viewers can go to find you.
Well, we're again on Tamiami Trail in Osprey, just north of Bay Street and just south of the Oaks.
Okay, and are you closed during the holidays, or is that a good time to come and see you?
Historic Spanish Point is open 7 days a week. We just take holidays on like Christmas Day.
Yes.
There's things going on Christmas Eve, so we take the holiday day, but otherwise we're open.
Okay, all right. Now, that was when you mentioned that you're open, they have the mangrove lights, holidays and the mangrove lights taking place, so that's a good time for folks to come out as well and see the lights.
Yep.
Great. Well, thank you. It's so nice meeting you.
Well, thank you very much.
The holiday season is upon us, and with that time comes the joy of new engagements. Next, we talk to Reflections in Gold about what to look for in a jeweler when choosing that perfect ring.